I'm not talking about the room, I'm just talking about my sense of understanding what I'm doing. No. You ever get, so you should have one of these. You should have one of these. And I have been instructed, they told me, if you're going to do this, you know we don't have any air conditioning, so this needs to go from 3 hours to like 45 minutes. So that's what we're doing. We're going to run. I am going to get you out of here early. I've tried to press this down into like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we'll move through. Is that okay with everybody? Okay. Okay. Okay, I got his buy-in. We're good. Crucial conversations. Knowing how to be successful in difficult conversations. And not all crucial conversations are difficult. Remember that. They're not all difficult. But when they get, gee, what do I do? Today's objectives. And I've got to do this for some reason because they said I needed to do it. So I'm doing today's objectives. Knowing why we communicate. Recognizing a scary conversation. How to change scary to safe. How to listen when others can't or won't talk. My son. Getting what you need and want out of a conversation, and how to help others communicate better. Any questions about our objectives today? All right, let's go. What I hope you're going to get out of today is an appreciation of conversations versus confrontations. A lot of times we go into conversations, they become confrontational pretty fast. Like, what the hell happened? Help is hell and heck. A new way to think about conversations that affect your life, and clues about, and a technique for having successful conversations about tough issues. Do we have tough issue conversations? How often? Like every day. I have them with myself. Everybody does. So I have to use some of these techniques even at home. So, let's see what happens when you're, this is kind of the setup for a very difficult conversation. How many people understand there's usually like 2 points of view in anything, in everything?
Nothing special. What about you? You seem rather chipper for Monday.
Today is a good day. It's my performance review.
Oh.
Wait a minute. You're excited about the performance review?
My next meeting is a one-on-one. I have to deliver a performance review. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's with Matt. Oh, I can see why you're so depressed.
Man, I'm stoked about this one. Because last time Melanie gave me kind of a bad review.
Last time I gave him an extremely negative review.
What exactly did she say?
You know, mumble jumble manager speak.
I couldn't have been more clear.
Like needing a little touch up here and there.
His appearance was sloppy, he was passive and unmotivated.
Maybe learn some more stuff.
And the quality of his work was completely substandard.
And we talked about my future.
I also said that I didn't see much of a future for him.
Dude, you have to read between the lines, but she was majorly hinting that I could go places.
I don't think he's going to make it to the end of the year anyway.
With a little spit and polish, no big deal. So that's what I did. Got myself some spit and polish. Buddy, you're looking at Mr. Improved.
If anything, he's gotten worse. I don't know which is more objectionable, his social deficiencies or his technical incompetencies.
I mean, I busted my hump this last year. I even took some night classes at the community college.
I can see why you're so enthused about things.
It's more than that. I think I'll finally get that promotion I deserve. And believe me, with a new baby on the way, I could use all the cash I could get.
I'm putting Matt on probation, and that means no yearly bonus, but fortunately I hear his wife has a good job.
Especially with my wife losing her job.
Sorry to hear about that, mate. Tell you what, you give me a call after the review and we'll celebrate over lunch or something.
Cheerio.
Well, call me for lunch later. I have a feeling you're going to need to take a break. Well, Matt, are you ready?
You bet. Now, I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, I know. And maybe it's just nerves because my wife lost her job and all. But you'll see I deserve that promotion.
Promotion?
Yes. And I have you to thank. You know that little pep talk last time? And with being a new daddy and all. Anyway, I'm just so excited to hear what you have to say.
Facing a crucial conversation, vital smarts can
Think that's going to be a tough conversation? Very possibly. very possibly going to be a little bit of a tough conversation. Sorry for the sound. I have no idea.
Sort it out.
Yes, it will. Okay, so let's get going. So, why master conversations? Kickstart your career. Anybody less than a year in the business? Boy, master conversations. Conversation's everything. We want to learn how to converse. Our clients just want us to converse. They don't really care how. They just want us to talk. Improve your organization, improve your relationships, expand your business, and improve your personal health. Anybody know that stress kills? Does everybody know that? Stress also does a funny thing. Stress takes 50% of the ability for you to think and puts it into adrenaline. Like ka-ching. So when we get stressed, we kind of start to shut down thinking, and our body picks up and runs. How many people have like knee-jerked out of a discussion and a situation? And that happens because we're not thinking so much. Our body's gone into flight or fight. I want to explain to you a little bit. Now that was two different agendas. They're going to be in the same conversation, but two different agendas, huh? That happens a lot. I got married Saturday. Yeah, I'm only 3 days into this thing, and we're already having like two different agendas. I want to share a quick story with you. Oh, and there is stress of, there's stressful conversations. There's stress of not having a conversation. Anybody ever like, God, I don't want to call these people. I don't want to call these people. I'm not going to call these people today. I'll feel better, and I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow you go, man, I'm going to feel better tomorrow. Hey, it's happened. I've been there. Tay's going, huh? Yeah, it's been me. Let me give you a little bit of, here's what conversation, this went really sideways. They're scary and they're safe conversations. Safe, no adrenaline. Scary, my adrenaline starts to pump. Something's happening and I'm at threat, so my brain starts to shut down, which creates tons of problems. But I can be in a scary situation and feel like I can't say anything. Now, Tay's the big man on campus here, right? BMOC WB, wannabe. Big man wannabe. Big man on campus. Tay starts to make a decision, a command decision, that is, he alone's making the decision, and we all see, oh my God, that's the wrong decision. But because of his place, the respect for the position, we know Tay, we don't say anything. We don't want to hurt his feelings. We don't want to end up in an argument. We don't want to end up in a debate. He's going to make a decision we all know is wrong. Now, you think that would ever happen?
Happened yesterday.
Here's what had happened. You might have heard this. This is a true story. There was a head surgeon, director of surgery, is going to go in on a very difficult operation, and he's going to take 3 surgeons with him. They go in to remove this guy's foot. They go in to remove his foot. They go, you know what? It's got to be done or he's going to die. Lead guy, I'll get in there. I'm going to take care of this. He cut off the wrong foot. Which you should have seen the lawsuit. If you read about this story, it's scary. It was like in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Because guess what? They also had to cut off the other foot. Here's what. The 3 surgeons that were with him knew that was the wrong foot. Knew it was the wrong foot. Testified this in court. We knew it was the wrong foot. But we were intimidated to say anything. That guy's the top dog. Would have that been a scary situation? I'm scared. I think I'm just going to shut up. It's going to be one of the ways you see people handle conversations that's not very healthy. Let's go here. What's a crucial conversation? A discussion between 2 or more people where stakes are high, opinions vary. Does that ever happen? No. Seahawks stink. You guys all look like, yeah, they do. Yeah.
There's fact and there's opinion.
That's right. That's right. Belief. I believe, but then there's the fact. There can be 2 different things. Emotions run strong, people that don't like each other. We're going to have a conversation. No, I don't even like that guy. man, I'm already starting out on the wrong foot. I don't have to like him to have a crucial conversation. I can work through it. But it makes it really difficult, doesn't it? Especially when emotions are high. This is so good. Did we get this down maybe? Did we?
Nope.
We didn't.
Nope, we didn't get there.
Oh man, isn't that?
Next time we'll get it set up next time and figure out what the problem is.
This one's great. Can you guys hear okay? I'll translate after we get done.
Okay, Phoebe.
Sorry, but sometimes they need help. That's fine. Go ahead and stop. You know, there are a lot of things out there that I don't believe in, but that doesn't mean they're not true.
Such as?
Like crop circles, or the Bermuda Triangle, or evolution.
Oh. You don't believe in evolution?
No, not really.
You don't believe in evolution?
I don't know. It's just, you know, monkeys, Darwin, you know, it's a nice story. I just think it's a little too easy.
Too easy? The process of every living thing on this planet evolving over millions of years from single-celled organisms is too easy.
Yeah, I just don't buy it.
Excuse me. Evolution is not for you to buy, Phoebe. Evolution is scientific fact, like the air we breathe, like gravity.
Oh, okay, don't get me started on gravity.
You don't believe in gravity?
Well, it's not so much that, you know, like I don't believe in it. You know, it's just, I don't know, lately I get the feeling that I'm not so much being pulled down as I am being pushed.
Uh-oh, it's Isaac Newton and he's pissed.
How can you not believe in evolution?
I don't know, just, look at this funky shirt.
Thieves, I've studied evolution my entire adult life, okay? And I can tell you, we have collected fossils from all over the world that actually show the evolution of different species, okay? I mean, you can literally see them evolving through time.
Really? You can actually see it?
You bet. In the U.S., China, Africa, all over.
See, I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Huh. So now, the real question is, who put those fossils there and why?
Okay, Phoebes. See how I'm making these little toys move? Opposable thumbs. Without evolution, how do you explain opposable thumbs?
Maybe the overlords needed them to steer their spacecrafts.
Please tell me you're joking.
Look, can't we just say that you believe in something and I don't?
No, Phoebes, we can't, okay? Because it's like math. 1 + 1 = 2. I can't stand by and let you think that 1 + 1 might equal 3 or 4 or yellow.
Why not? Now, what's that all about? What is this obsessive need you have to make everybody agree with you? You know what, I think maybe it's time you put Ross under the microscope.
Is there blood coming out of my ear?
Uh-oh, it's Scary Scientist Man.
Okay, Phoebe, this is it. In this briefcase, I carry actual scientific facts. A briefcase of facts, if you will. Some of these fossils are over 200 million years old.
Hey, look, before you even start, I'm not denying evolution, okay? I'm just saying that it's one of the possibilities.
It's the only possibility, Phoebe.
Okay, Ross, could you just open your mind like this much? Okay? Now, wasn't there a time when the brightest minds in the world believed that the Earth was flat? And up until like, what, 50 years ago, you all thought the atom was the smallest thing until you split it open and this like whole mess of crap came out. Now, are you telling me that you are so unbelievably arrogant that you can't admit that there's a teeny tiny possibility that you could be wrong about this?
There might be a teeny, tiny possibility.
Can't believe you caved.
He said, I can't believe you caved.
What?
You just abandoned your whole belief system. Before, I didn't agree with you, but at least I respected you. How are you going to go into work tomorrow? How are you going to face the other science guys? How are you going to face yourself? Oh. That was fun. So who's hungry? I am.
So in that instance, that's where one person trying to force their way into that conversation and win. The other person's probably just in the conversation. There's most of the times there's win and lose. We get into conversations, I'm going to win this. You know, I'm going to go in and get that price adjustment. I'm going to win this thing. You know what? Let's just go into the conversation. Let's worry about the process and not so much about the results. Common crucial conversation issues. Professionally, given the seller showing feedback. Anybody ever had like bad, like really bad, like where are you keeping the horse? That kind of bad feedback? And you got to relate that. That's hard. Informing a co-op about a sale fail at closing. This happened to me in February. We're literally at the table signing. We're all hugging and kissing. They leave. He calls me about 10 minutes later and says, I just got laid off. So what did I do? Don't tell the lender. Don't tell the lender. No, of course not. Of course not. I had to talk to a seller. Ouch. Addressing a problem with the loan officer when it's the loan officer you got a problem with. That's tough. Personally, ending a relationship. Ouch. Asking a friend to repay a loan. By the way, I'm going to see you afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Resolving custody or visitation issues. Dealing with a rebellious teen. Confronting a loved one about substance abuse issues. You know what? Those are tough. Those are really tough. All those things we're going to learn today go both professionally, but maybe more personally. I really say, if you get this down and practice it, don't practice in front of yourself. Go home and practice in a conversation that's not so crucial. Macaroni and cheese or hamburger helper? Let's discuss that. Let's discuss that. You know, is this a good time? Is this a good time? I mean, I just want to make sure we're set up, right place, right time, to have a crucial conversation about macaroni and cheese. What can we do in crucial, my vocabulary died on the way in the office. It got so hot. What do? We avoid them. What did Ross do? Right at the end. Just walked out. I'm going to get silent. I'm going to avoid this guy. Face them and handle them wrong. That was maybe a little bit early in that conversation. And then face them and handle them well. A couple of questions. What really happened? Don't worry about the course of evolution. And at a point, there was no respect for each other's belief system. Is your belief system unique? To who? To you. That's exactly correct. We may actually think the same things and believe this, but your thinking process is different than mine. What's really cool, there's only one of you in the entire world. Only one of you in the entire world. Makes her invaluable. Invaluable. 6 billion people, there's only one of you. But here's the problem, there's only one of you. How am I going to think like you? There's only one of you. I can't go practice with everybody and learn you, because there's only one of you. That's tough. So you got to be kind of prepared for what could happen here. Anybody ever had to give bad news? This is a little bit like seller feedback.
Hey, how's it going, man? So I'm supposed to tell you that you're not on the planning committee anymore, and it's probably because your ideas suck. Your ideas are not what we would call good, useful, having any value at all. I think they're great, but everybody else thinks they're terrible. You have ideas only a mother could love. Your mother. No, it's not that your ideas are bad. Can I text it? Yeah, I'll text it to you. Just be sure not to read this until, like, after work. Or until, like, you get home, after some good news. I'm sorry no one thinks you're funny. You know, I think it's really admirable that you would continue to say such bad ideas out loud in the face of so much justifiable opposition. It's so inspiring. Good talk. I feel so much better. Is that a new keyword?
I feel so much better.
No.
There, bad news can happen a lot of different ways. Did you see some of the techniques he used? It's a third party that doesn't like you. Not me, it's a third party. You can kind of blame this off on other people. You can kind of skip the responsibility to have these crucial conversations. This is a partner exercise. This is what I'm going to challenge you to do. So find a partner, I don't care who it is, and you can have 3 if there's an oddball. I mean an odd person. I wasn't looking at you. Okay? This is what conversations are you not having right now? What's the situation? I'm not having this conversation right now. It's crucial, but I've been putting it off. What I want you to do is share that with somebody. I want each of you to write the other person's conversation, whatever it is, write it down. Next Wednesday, by next Wednesday, you're going to have that conversation. And you're going to, when I have the conversation, Tay and I exchanged, here's mine, I got yours. When we have that, I have my conversation, I'm going to call Tay and say, I had my conversation. Here's how it went. Here's what happened. Tay's going to call me and say, hey, I had my conversation. It went terrible. I don't work here anymore. This is bad. Okay? Whatever the outcome, we're going to share that. If by next Wednesday he hasn't called me, I'm going to pick up the phone call. If by next Wednesday I'm giving you permission to call me. I want to see if you guys are going to be willing to put up where the money is, and that's having a crucial conversation. Do that real quick. Do that real quick. I know, everybody's going, this is scary.
So do I tell you mine? I'll just share what
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess
Giving that example would be my stepsister. She goes back and forth about buying a house.
We all kind of have.
But it's been a couple months, so maybe
But I gotta be sensitive about this. They've done this sort of
it's been like 2 months since we've talked
the whole spectrum of nursing home is one of them.
No, not avoiding it.
Having a
It just
sister
has to
who's
do
as old as she is and
naturally.
takes care of herself.
No, because I don't do that because she goes in,
That I share is, hey, just give her the respect, she doesn't really think she needs any help. I'll clean her house once a week. Professional clean her house. That's what I told them. I haven't done it. I'm not going to tell my mother I'm doing this until 2 weeks from now when she goes back to Florida. You know, I'll be down to clean her line.
So write them down. Write them down.
Her sister.
You get a pen if you want.
Doesn't need to hear about it. She'll hear about it too. So I'm procrastinating. So it's certain. So anyway, so that conversation will happen.
You're welcome.
I like that idea.
Her sister's not sharper than she, but physically needs.
She was listening to the side
So they are now ready to go flying. They don't want to be responsible. So my solution is, our solution is, which they seem so very weak. And they're close. So just move in, two old ladies, bring as much as you can.
My conversation is different. The context is very different. You are requiring,
One
you
will
are
let you fall
relying on
down.
someone else to agree with you. Ultimately, my conversation is a one-sided.
It might be helpful to have one's strengths and the other one's weaknesses all the same.
Anyway, I don't know if it's
And then never mind that I need to ask,
is to
why
try
don't
to frame it as a
ask her,
conversation.
there's still, say bye.
Right.
Oh, I know she gets nervous about it.
So everybody got it? Did you write them down? Write them down. Okay, because by next Wednesday, everybody's going to press into a crucial conversation. If you haven't, you're going to have an accountability partner that's going to say, you need to go have your... There is, I want to clear one point. Crucial conversations, are they with one person or two? Could be with just me. I mean, I could talk to myself. That might not be a fine crucial conversation. But conversation, dialogue, exchanging ideas between two people. So your difficult conversation, it won't be one-sided. It's going to be two-sided because the other side has an agenda. They have an idea about what they want to accomplish.
Sure.
Might not be what you want them to accomplish, but that's why it's a crucial conversation. Differing opinions, differing belief structures.
In my conversation, though, in the conversation that I need to make, I have all the control of the outcome. I kind of hold the power in the conversation. It's a conversation I don't want to have, but I hold the power in the conversation. Whereas in the conversation that Nalani has, she needs to try to get a seller to come down a significant amount of money on a listing that's going to be relisted. So she has to. It's a different. So
we're going to talk to you specific. We're going to talk exactly that. We're going to talk to yours. Exactly.
Cool.
Okay. Everybody's got different kind of crucial conversations to do, don't they? I got married Saturday. Got to have a talk about macaroni and cheese. Okay. Am I holding the right crucial conversations? There can be conversations that are crucial that honestly, I say, aren't worth having. Why should we get in a fight about, and in some debate, we're not dialoguing, we're debating about you're Seattle and I'm San Francisco. And I'm standing in Seattle, so maybe I shouldn't be from San Francisco.
Did it just come on?
No.
Oh. Kay got all excited.
Sorry.
That might not be, that could be an emotionally charged discussion, dialogue. So maybe I just don't want to get into it. Because the guy always wears that, what is it, green and yellow? Green?
I don't know.
I like red and gray. Okay, learning tools to use. This is what we're going to learn today. Start with heart. Work on me first. Anybody know how many people can change me, by the way? Now, my wife believes that she can.
No.
But who can change me?
You.
Me. Only me. Only me. Interesting, huh? So, be aware of this. Yeah, I understand I'm the only one that can change me, but I still think I can change you. Don't fall into that trap. Learn to look, make it safe, master my stories, state my path, explore other person's paths, and then move to action. Your move to action is going to be the decision you make at the end of that crucial conversation. Start with heart. Let's start with heart. Starting with heart means you're focused on what you want. Now, this isn't all about me, but if I don't know where I stand and what I want out of this conversation, it could go anywhere. It could just go anywhere. If you go into a tough conversation and you don't have some sort of idea about what you want to accomplish in it, likely I'm going to end up only accomplishing what you want. And how fair is that to me? It's not. We actually didn't have a conversation. We had a dictation. Okay? One of the things in, anybody ever heard of Stephen Covey? There we go now. Stephen Covey wrote the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. He actually, the better book, if you want to just get one, is called First Things First. He started. That's one of the 7 habits. But there is one of the habits I love, and especially with conversations, crucial conversations. Start with the end in mind first. Start with the end in mind first. Where do I want that? What do I want out of this? What do I want this for me? What do I want this for them? And start with that to begin with. Some of these are difficult because I've been here.
You're lucky to have me. You should be thanking me for asking for a raise. I don't leave early. I brought those pumpkin cookies out one time. I got first place in the office Summer Olympics water balloon relay. Doug got a 15% raise. Doug's a moron. If I don't get a raise, I'm going to our competitor and I am taking everyone. You don't know this, but I walked your dogs one time. I'm the only Myers-Briggs ENFJ on the entire team. You need me to balance out all the ISTPs on the dev team. I've become accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and I already spent the money, so... I'll send you a follow-up email to find out what you decide. Or I could just swing by your house.
So, who's had a discussion with the seller about price? How about fee? How about fee? There's fee. What we do is we go, let me show you all of my features. Let me show you all the things I can do for you. Look at me, I'm the biggest, bestest, mostest. My fee, what? I don't even understand where they're coming from. Why would they want? We all assume they want to cut the fee because more money. Well, that might not be the case at all. That might not be the case at all. And is the money the issue? Is the money the issue? If I asked all of you, I need $100 from each of you. Is money the issue?
No.
Why? It involves money. It involves money, but why not the money?
A relationship.
The relationship. What am I going to do with the money? What am I going to do with that? Here's the deal. You're all going, well, screw you, I'm not giving you $100. Hey, guess what? I'll put it in this. My dog died today and I need to have a funeral for him. And I have no money. Would you guys help me? No. Yeah, that's right. No. Not for a dog. We don't know. That's where discussion has to happen. You know, sellers that ask for price reductions right up front probably aren't asking for price reductions. What they're trying to figure out, I need that money, but why? Why? What are you going to do with it? Where's it going? Consider these important items. What you really want for yourself, for others, for the relationship, and then what you don't want for this. So you kind of go in with the, what do I want? What don't I want? If I don't want something, I'm going to stay away from it. But if I do want something, I'm going to work toward it. So if you see it going the wrong way, you can back up and go, that's not what I wanted to happen. That's a don't. Let's back up. Let's move toward the do. Okay? When I start with me, when I go back to starting with me, attitudes, beliefs, assumptions, I have to own those. Those are mine. I have to own those. But who else has attitudes, beliefs, assumptions?
Your client.
The other guy. The other guy has all those. Now, is his the same as mine? Almost rarely are they identical. Now, they could be. They could be. If we're not having any disagreement here, are we actually having a crucial conversation? Are emotions high? Is there a lot of risk? No. Everything's great. But how often do you actually believe everything the other guy does? Like that Seahawks are great. That doesn't happen very often. And that's because we're individuals. Our brains all work differently.
Could you say those 3 things again, please?
Attitudes, beliefs, and assumptions. Attitudes, beliefs, and assumptions. I assume something that if you live in Seattle, you must love the Seahawks. I make that assumption. That may be completely wrong. He just moved from Tennessee. And he's, what is it, Titans?
Yep.
He has got Titan blood. I mean, he hates Seahawks. He, you know, my assumption was you live in Seattle, you must love Seahawks. That was my wrong belief, isn't it? Here's one of the beliefs that we tend to fall into. Everybody thinks like I do. Everybody thinks like I do. All realtors, we all think the same, don't we? Don't we? Oh, heaven's sakes, no. So, what you want, what you don't want, very important. When you know that, then ask, how would I behave if I really wanted those results? If that's what I wanted, how would I behave? I'd love to illustrate this to my son. Honey, you know, I think you had the right intentions. His intentions were good, but man, your behavior was way off the mark. Does that ever happen? Yeah. Yeah, I've done it. My intentions are totally pure, and then I end up digging a hole for myself and the person I was with. Ugly. Ugly, ugly. Don't make the fool's choice. Refuse it. Choosing between winning and losing, peace and honesty. It's not either or, it's both and. You want to be inclusive, not exclusive. Winning and losing. So let's talk about that real quick. Winning and losing. Is there been a lot of discussions, a lot of tough ones we have. Is there a winner and a loser? Go back to Ross and Phoebe. Was there a winner and a loser?
Yeah.
Who lost?
Ross.
Ross. Did Phoebe win? Here's the tough part. We would see her maybe as the winner and he as the loser. We certainly picked him as a loser. But what happened to the relationship? Both lost. Both here. Both lost. That's exactly correct. We sacrificed our relationship in the effort to be right, in the effort to win. That's danger. That is so dangerous. Winning and losing, we don't want to do that. We want the win-win. I'm going to say this one thing. I've learned this in this business. Everybody goes, oh, this will be a win-win. Let's make it a win-win. You know what? Maybe we just make it a tie-tie. You know, I don't know that we're going to get a win-win here. Maybe we're just okay with the tie-tie. Well, you know what? It's better than lose-lose or lose-win. Does that make sense? Be willing to change your thought process. Peace and honesty. The difference between peace and honesty. This is what it looks like. Okay? I have been meaning to tell you, your feet stink so bad. And I mean, I can't walk down that hall, man. And this is with your shoes on. This is with your shoes on. Could you just shut your door and get some like deodorizers and pin into the wall or something? Okay? I was honest, but I'm not keeping such peace between us. I've actually stirred things up a little bit. Now he's going, what a jerk. Okay? The honesty, whoops, I got peace. So here's what. I don't want to make a row. Now this happens to all of us, and I do it all the time. I don't want to make a row. I don't want to cause problems, so I won't say anything. I'll just walk past this office like this. Does that make sense? Don't fall into that. It's not that I have to sacrifice a relationship in being honest. I don't have to sacrifice peace in our family or our relationship, or in my case, my marriage, by being honest. I don't have to do that. There is a way to handle it. Let's talk about pooled share of meaning. You're going to see this a couple of different times through here. What this is talking about is your experiences, your beliefs, your attitudes, your assumptions. That's all dumping into this big pool. Picture a big concrete pool, empty. Empty. You put all of those things in, your path to get here, what brought you to this point, what are you thinking, how are you feeling, mind go into it, What happens when you have a little bit of information and you're making big decisions? What happens when you just have a little bit of information? Is it tough to make that big decision? In fact, is it easy to make the wrong decision? What happens when I have lots of information? Is it easier?
Harder.
Lots of information. I've got better information to make a better decision. Better understanding. Now, how, and I talk about it, when you get tight, when things start to get a little, ooh, this is getting uncomfortable, dive in the pool. It's a resource. Dive back in the pool. But here's what we do. I put all my stuff in. I asked for no input. I wasn't willing to let you input. And so in essence, instead of being 6 foot at the deep end, now it's only 3, and I dive in. What happens? I'm going to hit the bottom. Ouch, this is not going to go well. Because I am only relying on me. And with only half the information, guys, you got a big chance of making the wrong decision. More information, better decisions. Don't be afraid of more information. Now, some is relevant, some's not relevant. You'll have to pick and choose. But when it goes in the pool, we both can win from having that information with us. Each person comes with a unique set of the thoughts, feelings, beliefs. They're unique because why? You're unique. You're totally unique. More input for the pool, better decisions. Is it my pool? I got my pool, you got your pool. What do we want to do? Make it our pool. Our pool. Let's pool resources. Ah, that's a joke. Okay, and we're always diving back into these things. Even if it was my pool and I didn't even ask for input, I'm always going back to mine because I'm going to refer, hey, how am I feeling about this? What is my thought process? I need to go back there to help make this decision, but again, if I'm only doing it with half the information, that might not be so good. Pool sharing, getting information out of the open into the open, creating a dialogue, don't debate, stay silent or run away. That's pretty easy to do. We get scared, we get, geez, I'm just going to let that go. You know what, it's important to me, but I don't want to make a fuss. I'm just going to I'm going to run away. What did Ross do? When things got really tight, what did Ross do? Well, it's funny, he said, yeah, maybe there's a small chance. Now, unfortunately, she just blasted him with it. She just blasted him with it. But he could stay silent, he could run away, or he could debate. Here's the deal. Don't start dialogue thinking, boy, I hope we get into a debate because I'm going to crush this. I'm going to get this set right. They're wrong, I'm right. Let's debate. Have dialogue. Dialogue is an exchange of ideas by both parties. Okay? Command decisions aren't both parties. They're one party. And then create favorable conditions and a favorable dialogue. Again, what happens when you're, honey, we need to talk about, we've been married now for 3 days, and I really think that we need to talk about this guy that you're still seeing. And, I just want to...
Why?
I know. Well, because I think he wants to go with gal I'm seeing. Talking about this is going to be difficult, and I want to know, is this a good time? I don't want to catch you off guard. And is this a good place? We're currently at the park with the kids playing softball. Is this an okay time? You're on first and I'm the first baseman. I hope we can kind of get this done fast. Set these things up. Set these things up. Don't just take it for granted that she's going to want to talk about her boyfriend with her husband. Okay? At the baseball game. Somewhere it's going to have to happen, but maybe that's not the right place. Crucial conversations typically start this way. Surprise! Surprise! Got a conversation I'd like to have with you. Hey, Tay. Hey, man. My name's Jason Waugh. I know you don't know me, but we need to talk about your job performance. Is this a good time? In this class, can we do this right now? Sure. Yeah, you get caught with this stuff. Almost all these crucial conversations kind of happen as a surprise. learn to look and how to recognize when safety's at risk. So let's talk about safe conversations. Safe conversations are when I feel free to express my opinion, my feelings, my attitudes. I can bring it, and I feel safe about being able to do that. How many people have conversations that way? I can tell you, in my life right now, there's probably 3 people I can do that with. Just a couple. 3 people. It starts with love, mutual respect, caring for them like they're caring for me. So there's a lot there, and actually a lot at risk if this went sideways. But it's not. It's really hard. Crucial conversations come with a lot of baggage. And other people are going to go, you know what? This is not going to be a good, and I think you're starting to attack me, and I'm going to back up. I'm going to get out. This isn't safe. Okay? This isn't safe. We move toward, in safety, learn to look for silence or violence. In your little handout there, silence. What did Ross end up doing? Did he get vocal?
No.
He got silent. He pulled himself right out of the entire situation. Now, gee, could we come to some kind of mutual agreement? It didn't happen because I just pulled myself out of the conversation. I'm gone. Unfortunately, we still need to make a decision about your job. But now that you're not here, I'll make the command decision. I'll make it. It's tough. 2 or 3 people I could do that with. The rest, I'd have to go into it. I'm going to have to set this up. I got to prep this up a little bit. There's silence. When people get silent, they withdraw or they avoid the conversation completely. Like, God, I need to do that. I need to have that conversation. Maybe it'll fix itself. Maybe that price adjustment's just going to occur overnight. Magic. Yeah, the computer made that change. I mean, no. Avoiding, not good. And masking happens in this way. I like that shirt. It really does look good on you. Nobody's ever going to know that it's like 3 sizes too small. Little sarcasm. Well, you know what? Behind sarcasm, there's always a basis. There's always a basis. And that is a great situation to say, I'm going to be silent about this. Sarcasm. So there's safety. Their pool, this is again, is our big deal. This is where we're going to go for what we need as tools. Information, more information, the bigger the pool, the better decisions we can make together. In violence, that's tough. Controlling. Anybody ever been in a discussion with somebody and like they are controlling? They just got to drive the boat. I don't really care what you say or how you do it. Sit in the back seat, I'm driving. That happens a lot. I mean, honestly, in this business, it happens a lot. You know who it happens with? They call them top producers. Those jerks. I'm an idiot. That's so rude. Yeah, because he did $44 million last year. Yeah, but does that give him the right to abuse our relationship or abuse me?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. There's got to be some mutual respect here. In violence, controlling, labeling, and attacking. Okay, so I just come at you. Okay, labeling is, you women, you're all the same. You're all after the money. You guys, you're all about the football. That's not what they say. It's always about the sex, by the way. But here's what happens. The silence, I'm withholding stuff out of the pool. I don't want to put it in the pool. I'm going to withhold it. I'm going to get silent. The violent, I'm going to push it into the pool. In fact, I'm going to push it so hard it's pushing you out. I'm going to put a giant... Anybody ever remember the brick you put in the toilet? Back, what was that, 70s? Save water? Case go, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, to take up
What-
water, the room
Yes.
in the tank?
Exactly. It would take up space. Well, now everything's like a 1.6, but when it was everybody was 3, put the brick in. And my dad was like, put 2 or 3 in, and then you're like, Dad, but I got to flush it 8 times. Now where? Now how far do we get? The brick took place of the water, didn't it? My controlling and dumping my stuff into the pool can push your stuff right out. Okay? Make sense? Controlling also can be coercing. You can coerce someone. Labeling, stereotypes, attacking, threatening. The gal getting a phrase, I can take everybody with me. Everybody with me. Threat. Violent. Okay? Learning to look, review. Learn to look at content and conditions. So what are we working with? What's the basis of our discussion? And the conditions, are they favorable right now for having a conversation? Are these conditions favorable for us to have a... If we were going to sit here and talk all day, like I'm not going to do, really, I'm not going to do that. But if I did, at some point you go, oh, son of a gun, the conditions are stinky. It's hot. I can't concentrate. How am I supposed to have a discussion with you about a very important subject? And all I'm thinking is, oh my God, I hope I had some deodorant on today. See what I mean? Got to make sure. When things become crucial, so all of a sudden, we're just having a conversation. Can just normal, everyday conversations become crucial? Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So I'm trying to convey to my seller some very difficult feedback. We kind of start, yeah, so how's it going? Things are great. And they go, so what those people think of my house? Bingo. We got a crucial conversation. Just went from mundane to crucial. Here's the deal. A lot of times I don't plan that. That wasn't my intent. I didn't want to. I just want to see how you're doing. How's the weather? Weather's great. Great, okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow with that terrible news about the horse in the bedroom. For safety problems, okay, safe being, look for safe. Is this a good environment for these people to be able to express their views? And see if others are moving towards silence or violence. If you start to see that, here's what I'm going to tell you. Step back. The very best communicators in the world will do this. We're having a problem. We've got an issue. And we start getting at it, and I can see she's starting to shut down. Because I'm starting to do this. I'm threatened. Okay? I'm ready to attack. Look, that's wrong. You're wrong. She starts to get silent. Whoops. What happened? What's happening right now? Are we going to have a great conversation? It's shutting down already. We haven't even got started. Ouch. Ouch. Now, honestly, without some heavy work, am I concentrating on what I wanted to achieve in this? This is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Because here, we like each other. Now she hates me. What an ass that guy is. Most arrogant fool I've ever met. Honey, I love you. I know we've only been... No. Let me ask you real quick. What's your style? How would you visualize yourself when you started to get tight? What would you... Are you silent or are you violent?
I'm silent.
You're silent? You get silent.
Stop.
So
It's
why...
not going anywhere, so there's no point to continue putting into the conversation.
Here's the point. You're going to watch the other person, silent or violent. Okay? Silent or violent. But I need to understand mine. So think real quick. I just want you to take 30 seconds and I want you to write down, am I a silent or a violent? It doesn't mean I can't do both at times. You know, I'm this way and this way. But what's your predominant? Am I silent or am I violent? I work for a guy that's a violent. Now he has great communication skills, and we always work through things. But that's his style. When he gets pushed back, that's what he's going to react with. Violent. Me, I tend to be silent. I want to you would, I know, everybody's laughing, oh my God, no, that guy can't be silent, and I'll never stop. I tend to get silenced. Part of that is my feelings get hurt, but I also don't want to hurt your feelings. So I'm just going to shut up. In fact, I'm going to capitulate. I'm just going to say, fine. Go ahead and do it. You know what? I know your mind's already made up. It won't matter what I say. You're going to do it anyway. Who's heard that? I've heard it 3 times. I've only been married for 3 days. That is a cop-out. But that's silence. That's silence. I just relegated all of my shared pool, my attitudes, my beliefs, my assumptions, and I said, here, great. I don't care that I have them, and I don't care that they're in the pool or out of the pool. It's you. I'm done. Walk away. Everybody goes, oh, well, that solved that problem, did it?
No.
Holy smokes, no. It's a little bit like, I had a friend, this is back in high school, and he was having problems with his dad. I mean, it was bad. I mean, they had fist fights. It was tough. And Dad says, you know, you got to buckle down. You know, he's got the hammer. He says, you know what, Dad? Screw you. I am going to join the Marines. Sledgehammer, Marines, boom! He just went from like, he could have resolved maybe this. You know what the Marines do to you like in the first 6 months? They break you down into nothing. They don't want you thinking on your own. All of a sudden, even his identity of who he was is now gone. He just traded this for this. Don't do that. Outbreaks. So watch for outbreaks of your style under stress. What did people write? Can I ask? What did you write? Violence or silence?
Both.
Oh, both?
Yeah. I have facial expressions, so I roll my eyes like my grandma used to. Go ahead, yeah.
Here, quick, and we talked about this last time I was here. Conversation, a sharing of ideas, exchange of our beliefs, our attitudes, okay? That's all great and fine, but when it occurs that we don't have that, what happens is we tend to break down the relationship, not the conversation. The relationship starts to fall apart. Now, I don't want to have a big relationship with the co-op. I just don't. I don't know the guy. He's a jerk. Lives across town. I don't really care to have a relationship. But here's the deal. Who am I fighting for? The client. Who guess they want to have a relationship with because they want that guy's his client. The hard part is, in a lot of cases, is that we take, I'm fighting for my client, we get so aggressive, they'd never be that way. But we are, we don't get anything accomplished. Now my client's actually worse off than before I got started. So what's my style? What's your style?
Oh, silent.
Silent?
Silent.
Silent?
I'd say silent. Although I do feel like, I moved here 5 years ago, so I'm still learning some of the things about one thing that passive aggression. So I feel like I do learn both, right? But
Definitely.
you kind of said that already. But
It is, and so here's the point. Passive aggressive behaviors, everybody has a little bit of it, honestly. Everybody has a little. I think the air's on. Thank you, Lord. We can be passive aggressive, but there is one thing that's going to start to throw a monkey wrench in the whole works. That's my style, my not watching. Because all of a sudden, I can start to get violent or silent. That I'm going to first go to what I'm naturally at. I'm naturally this way. That's what I'm going to go to first. I may be aggressive at first, and then I may turn totally passive. Ross, great example. Or I may be totally silent, and then you finally press me to the point, okay, now you piss me off.
That's me. I've had enough now.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm getting involved.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting involved. watch here. This is a.
So you're cutting the timeline in half? Well, I guess the team can't possibly hate you any more than they already do, so that's a plus. Obviously, you don't care about my team. Obviously, you don't care about quality. I hate quality. I think it's stupid. Only a moron could hit this in this time frame. Maybe you could do it. This must be your first time running a project. Ooh, twinsy dorbs. I have pictures of my family, so why would I need to ever go home? I get it. You think I'm a magician. But you don't, this isn't. Up top.
I looked at that and I watched it and I thought, man, that is just like my last price adjustment. Are you an idiot? Don't you see? I provided all the facts. Here's all the comps. I mean, this is what the market's saying. This is what I'm telling you as a professional for 32 years. What's wrong with you? Do you think you know better than I do? These are all things what we'd like to say. But a lot of times, well, okay, look, we'll get into it next week. They're tough. Those are tough conversations, especially when you got $1 million listing and the reduction's going to be $100 grand. I got that talk next week. Making it safe. Making it safe to talk about almost anything. So, a couple things you got to have. Mutual purpose. Why are we both in this conversation? We've got to have a mutual purpose. Finding it sometimes can be tough. Find the higher ground, the common ground. Remember when we talked a couple weeks ago about how to build trust? Okay, now I don't need trust. I don't need to trust this person to have these conversations. It certainly helps. Done wrong, and break trust. That's a great risk. Do that with somebody that's really important and you break trust. Shoot, how do you get that back? It's a lot of work, a lot of hard work. Find some common ground. Don't get stuck on the how, focus on the why. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Not how are we going to do it, but why are we doing it? Remember sellers? Hey, why did they want to sell their property? Why would they go through all the things we're going to put them through to move? That's right. They want to get over there. They want to go someplace. What's the why? If you know the why, you've got a great clue on starting to figure out the how. But you've got to know the why. And then stay focused on a shared goal. This is our goal. This is what we want to do. This is our mutual purpose. We have to focus on that. Focus on that. And sharing that with somebody, hey, so we need to get this thing done. I don't know quite how we're going to accomplish it, but I know this is what we need to do. Do you agree with that? Sure, thank you. That was a great example. Okay. Yeah. So we've got this goal. We have got to come up with a presentation that will blow the socks off of Boeing. We're going after the account. We want all their reload. We're going to do this. You know, you've got a totally a different way of thinking about it. I'm thinking this way. What's our common goal? Win the account, isn't it? Win the account. When the Seahawks go on the football field, okay, what's their common goal? To win the game. Did they talk about how they're going to do it? To a point, that's going to change, isn't it? So we're going to have a running game. Boom! Hey, they're shutting our running game down. Holy crap, what do we do now? Well, we've got to start throwing the ball. If you stick to the original plan, it's not going to work very well, will it? You've got to be willing to change. The how is adaptable. The why isn't. Maintain mutual respect. Now this is tough. This is tough. Respect is hard. Respect is difficult. How do you build trust? How do you build trust? Respect, trust. How do we do that? We talked about trust. How do you build trust? You find common ground. You build common ground. Find out what that is. Build some rapport. That leads to trust. Now, can you trust somebody and not respect them? It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. You'd actually have to go, you'd have to work to trust them if you didn't respect them. It wouldn't be a natural occurrence. It just would be very tough. Mutual respect. Respect basic humanity. What do we all have in common right here? We're all
In real estate.
in real estate. What else? We're all hot. Yeah. What else?
Humans.
Humans. We have something so in common. Now here's what's totally interesting. We all have that in common, and yet we're all different. We are all specifically different. There's nobody like you. Anywhere. There's nobody that thinks like you do. That makes you invaluable. That's basic humanity. And I have to respect that. If that was the only thing I could find respect for, that you're a human and you're an individual, you're invaluable, if that was the only thing I could find to respect you for, that's enough to start. That's enough to start. Look for similarities. That's, again, common ground. Let's figure out, do we have anything in common? Do we have anything in common? You and I.
Sure.
What do we do? What do we have in common?
Both breathing this day.
We're both breathing. I like that.
We're both in real estate.
Both in real estate.
Both married.
Both married.
Uh,
We're both guys.
there you go.
I mean, we can go right down to some real basic stuff. We're both guys. Holy smokes. There's stuff. Now we've got common ground. Let's start to build towards some rapport. You like the Seahawks? Did you see that Seahawks game last week? Did you? Wasn't it a great game?
It gives me some hope.
Oh, it gives you some hope. I don't even. Are they playing football right now?
They are. This preseason.
I'm a baseball guy. I don't follow that. Sympathize or empathize. Okay? And what's the difference? What's the difference? What's sympathy?
I'm sorry.
Okay? Feeling sorry for somebody, that's sympathy. Sympathy is the way I feel about you, your situation. It's the way I feel about your situation. Empathy is I feel what you feel about your situation. I'm thinking what you're thinking. I'm feeling like you're feeling. That's empathy, which is the higher course. Especially in a crucial conversation.
Empathy.
Empathy. Empathy. I can see that you're hurt, and that hurts me. Versus, I'm sorry you're hurt. Which would go over a little better. I'm testing because I got to say that when I get home tomorrow.
Empathy.
Empathy. Empathy. Empathy. Actually, she's great. We haven't even, 2 years we've never had an argument. She's gotten silent a couple times, but it builds to trust. It's got to build to trust. Okay? That's what we're working toward. Because if I trust you and you're the decision maker. I've got input. You're going to take this. You're looking at the share pool. We're moving forward. But you've got the decision. If I trust her, am I better suited to follow that decision? Okay. Why does it? Let's talk real. Well, we're going to get to that. We'll get to that. How are we doing, by the way? What's the time?
It's 2:20.
2:20. Holy crap, 2:20. Oh no, we started at 1, didn't we?
1.
Okay. Oh my God, I got another 45 minutes. Okay, let's do this. Maintaining mutual respect. When things get a little difficult, it's called crib. Oh, and let me make one thing back. Making it safe. And I fall into this. It hits me when I do it. I've done it so much, I don't even really think about it. I'm really sorry it was my fault. It wasn't my fault. But I instantly apologize because I want her thinking it was my fault. Because now, and it's a manipulative move, guys. You got to be careful with this. If I get her thinking, yeah, it was all my fault, I can take that and I can manipulate it. I can use it. I don't go in and be insincere about an apology. Don't do it to strategize. Don't do it to manipulate. But that's what happens. I'm quick to do that. guys, I'm really sorry. That came out, I just dropped the ball. It wasn't my fault. It was their fault. But now I've kind of removed their responsibility. I've taken it on. They're going, oh, I kind of like that. Well, great. Now I got a little hooking. Got to be careful with that. And then let's talk about crib. Okay, getting to mutual purpose. Crib. Commit to seek a mutual purpose. Here's interesting. Do we need to take a break, guys? By the way, you guys want to take a break? Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. We'll get back to crib here in a minute.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
And I think there's cold drinks over here, by the way. That's what's going to make it happen. That is what's going to make it happen.
I didn't think about that. It's been, yeah, be able to apply to relationships.
So you're cutting the timeline in half? Well, I guess the team can't possibly hate you any more than they already do, so that's a plus. Obviously, you don't care about my team. Obviously, you...
Right. Right. Right.
I'll take some time off, but, yeah,
Does that help you get the ball rolling on the board?
Definitely.
Best friend actually not making it back to the Philippines. My dad definitely not. Really? Oh, yeah? Yeah. That is a good point. Right. I'd totally about that.
I'm sorry I think absent. I have my first listing appointment tomorrow. And so I'm super excited because of your listing.
How great.
And so I apologize. I'm trying
Oh no, that's okay.
the ABB right now because like I'm trying to have my package, my printed, my CMAs, my forms, and all of that. And they don't know I'm new, so I'm trying to make sure I go.
Sure.
So I didn't want you to be offended that I was bouncing back and forth.
No, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I met them at Mill's house, and
Yeah, and I was asked to be. It wasn't like I ran for it. They asked people.
Great success. Share that around. Have Kate share that. Whether you get the listing or not.
Well, and
just remember, you're part of a giant team. So they go, well, where's your experience level? Which most people never
well,
ask.
and it's funny. These guys are like millennials. They just want to quit their job and move to Austin, Texas. They're just wanting to bring papers and sign more. Like, but I'm trying to make sure I have all my presentations ready to talk about all those things.
If they ask. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If they ask. Sometimes we prepare so much. Like, no, I'm getting offended because you're not asking me about all the stuff I prepared. If you don't need it, don't pull it out. Just like comps, put them in the back of your market analysis because, in a way, if I pull them out, we're gonna argue about it.
Because that's funny you say that because the actual comp is best is a live listing 2 doors down. There's a lot of conversation about that. I kind of know that they're going to look slower just to get it moving.
Sure.
It's going to piss off the speaker.
That's okay.
That's John McCarthy's listing, and they're posting it open sales.
That's okay.
But it is what it is. But I do have this really beautiful, I believe in leaving something behind.
Great.
So I do have
Oh,
my,
fabulous.
So, and I just found it, and the CMAs are in the back. If we need to go to
But if you don't, just, so here, a lot of times we try, I got to justify my fee. I got to justify why I'm, I got to blah blah. If they're accepting it, just move on.
And I'm also being mindful of the time. I get in and have my stuff ready. Talk about the process. Talk about everything, but not over. I mean, so super excited. Your presentation was really good.
Questions if you haven't got to it. What's in hospital? Get them talking about there.
You know what they did last time? So what happened was I've emailed a few times not to overdo it, so I asked them permission to reach out to them in the summer. That's their timeline. So I didn't want to get to it. So then they said, so they were ghosting me. So I thought, geez, I'm not hearing back. So I was doing the open house again. And I said, hey guys, I'm going to be at the on Saturday. If you guys are around, let's say they came and they just sat and did it. And then they said, would you like to come over? I put a sticky note on that door, be right back, because there's no traffic. And I went and met my parents and talked about everything, what they wanted to leave, so they kind of said, I'm not we are able to drink next Tuesday. So I know I kind of got things a little bit, but I'm trying to
Just keep moving it. That's right. Just keep moving forward.
But it's super exciting. But excited, but I also have to just naturally be excited.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
But
I think that's super.
I will maybe catch a little bit more today, but I may not say the whole thing. So thank you
That's
for
okay.
understanding.
You're not offending me in any way.
Thank you. And your feedback is helpful because I don't want to take something out if I don't need it.
You're going to do great.
Thank you.
You're going to do great. Just remember, you are part of a team, huge team. So if somebody goes, well, I don't think we have much. Who cares? I work for a company. We're a strong listening company. It's what we're good at. It's what we're known for. Boom.
And that's how I feel. Like, if they haven't asked me, I'll always be honest. But I've got all the resources in the world right here. It's good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I left my little lunch bag back here, so thank you. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Kindergarten first week, and then second, and she was doing a lot with like the so there was one kid that she told her did not study with the mom was never allowed to come to like conferences or anything, and the kid would sign
Okay, let's go so I can get you out of here. Because I think the sauna here closes down at 3 o'clock. Okay, so crib. It's okay, I can wait. So crib. Commit to seek a mutual purpose. You've got to be committed to that. Recognize the purpose behind the strategy. Why are we doing this? Why is the big one, guys. Everything's why. Invent a mutual purpose. You might have to just figure out, geez, we don't have any direction here. Let's come up with an idea of what we want to accomplish. And then brainstorm new strategies. Mutual purpose is very important. You can not have mutual respect, but have mutual purpose. You're still going to get some things done. It's going to be difficult, but you'll still get things done. I can have a lot of respect for somebody, a ton of respect for each other. But if we don't have a purpose, we're not going to get anything done. Okay? Make sense? Master my stories. My stories, it's a little bit like, what got you here? my story, kind of what got me here. Maybe sharing a little bit what's in the pool. Here's my thinking process. This is how I became interested in evolution, and this is what got me to this point. Blah, blah, blah. It's one of those things where when you think about, okay, why am I discussing this, and how are they going to understand that brought me to the point of wanting to discuss this? I've got to get that out. That's part of my path. That's part of my story. What brought me here? So why are we involved in this discussion? Why are we involved in this, trying to make this decision? What got me here? What's my stake in it? If I share those things, most people will share theirs. And when they do, we've just dumped a bunch more water into the pool, and I'm understanding their perceptions a little bit. They may be incorrect, but here's the problem. I don't care that they're incorrect. I care that I understand what they are. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Continually be involved and be focused on how you're trying to get this done. The processes and not the results. Processes and not results. You know, in a quick thing, I think I said this before. When you get a referral from a client, and you get one from an agent, where do you send the 25%? Yeah, send it to them. When you get one from a client, do we pay them? No. No. What do we normally do? If the thing closes and we send them a thank you gift or whatever.
And the appreciation, or some agents do like appreciation parties.
Sure. Here's what I'm going to say. Do it as soon as they send you the referral. Even if you never get a hold of the people. Because here's what. I want to reinforce behavior, not results. If I try to reinforce results, they're at some point going to say, well, they're never going to buy a house. Why call Scott? Because if it doesn't close, we'll never get a gift. Some people think this way, guys. But you reinforce the behavior every time they run into somebody. They'll start going, oh, you know, my guy needs to call you. My guy needs to call you. Yeah, drop him, because I need a cup of coffee, and he always sends me Starbucks. So I'm going to give him your name and number. I don't know you, but I'm going to give him your name. No. How to stay in dialogue when you're angry, scared, or hurt. What happens when you're angry, scared, or hurt? You shut down? You get aggressive? Sound like almost all of us is silent. So we're not going to do this, but I want to talk about explore the differences in a conversation when changing your beliefs. Do beliefs change, by the way? Beliefs change, certainly, don't they? Don't they? Phoebe, great point. Yeah, we used to believe that the atom was a small, it was the molecule. Then the atom. And now we got left spin quarks and right spin this, and we've got some subatomic particles, you know, that don't even actually follow any of the laws of physics. There are subatomic particles that are moving faster than the speed of light. Isn't that funny? But I was always believed you couldn't go anything faster than the speed of light. Yeah, except you gotta change your beliefs. Yeah. Being right and still being wrong. Anybody know that you can be right and still be wrong? So right, I am so right on this, I am so right. I am right. And that is wrong. That's going to get me done. That's tough. You got to be careful. You may understand that you're completely right. They may understand you're completely right. But you handle it wrong, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, who's ever heard, it's not what you said, it's the way you said it. Okay? What you said wasn't the loss. The way you said it blew it up. Yes, exactly. Have I established mutual respect? Here's what's hard. Who's got to be the first one to respect the other guy? Me. I've got to work toward building respect. The respect may not be for any other area except that you're here, we're going to work through this, you've put into the shared pool, and I respect that. I may not respect you for anything else. You're the biggest slime ball in the world. But I respect you for the fact that you stepped up and we're going to take care of this. We're going to have a difficult conversation. I think I shared with you. There's a guy, the Axeman, did I tell you about that? There's a guy, his name's Axeman. I mean, that's what he goes by, that's what everybody calls it. Did I share that? No. We'll pass on that. Have I created and maintained a shared purpose? We can come up with one, but we can leave it on the shelf or totally forget about it. Now we're way over here. We've got to continually look at that. Does shared purpose sometimes change? Do purposes change? Sure. Hey, we were in it for this, and well, holy crap, we just realized this is what's over here. Look what we could do here. Am I really open to others' views? Ooh, that's hard. You know, take a look, take some stock, look at yourself and go, would I accept someone else's view over mine for this specific thing? Does it, let me back up. I'm open to it. Doesn't mean I have to believe it. Doesn't mean I have to agree. No, it means I have to be open to it. I have to be open to it. Was Ross open? That was great. Was Ross open to it? Not at all. Not at all. In fact, she said many times, you know, I'm okay with it. It's one. I'm open. I'm open. Am I confidently expressing my own views? So you don't have to get run over in this thing. And a lot of times, in fact, I gave this class in Portland. I got a guy who does like 110 deals, Chris Kelly, I probably talked to him before. And he's working with another agent, top producer in the office. And I can hear them. Now, he's loud and she's loud. They weren't being loud at each other for any other reason than they're just loud people. But you can hear them. They're using this stuff. It was amazing. And then all of a sudden I started, no, you're moving away from common purpose. Back up. Take a step out, Chris. Take a step out. As it was, I went in and said, Chris, can I see you for just a minute? I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to get this taken care of. And I pulled him out and I said, Chris, you need to back up and step out of that. Take stock of where you're at. Step back in. It's okay in a conversation, especially crucial conversations, to say, you know what? I know I'm starting to get flushed and I don't know why. I'm starting to get flushed and I don't know why. I think can I just step out of this for a minute? Can I call you right back? Can I just take a couple minutes? Can I call you right back? Step right back out of it. Take stock of where you're at. Nothing has to happen immediately, fast. It just has to happen. So if you get into involved, oh my gosh, I'm starting to see now I'm either attacking or I'm backing up and being silent. Step back out and go, hey, where are we? Oh, totally forgot about mutual purpose. Okay? And expressing my own view is very important because you don't want to get lost in this thing. Retrace your path. Take an honest look at your behavior. So, gee, did I kind of blow that up a little bit? Was that my fault? Is that my fault? I have to kind of own it when it is. Get in touch with your feelings. Now, for guys, and I'm going to generalize and stereotype, guys have a tough time with this. I know how I think, how I feel. Who knows? I just don't go there much. How do I get in touch with my feelings? That's a touchy feeling thing. Well, you know what? Check your heart rate. Is your face flush? Am I sweating? Am I starting to get defensive? You know, we're having a crucial conversation here. We're having a crucial conversation, and I'm not sure it's going well. Take an honest look at your behavior. Get in touch with it. Analyze your story. My story being what brought me to this point, and why are we trying to make this decision? Why are we trying to make this decision? Avoid cleverness. She was a great example of the victim, wasn't she? She was the victim. Oh, poor me, sorry. You know, you're going to move the deadline to me on my kids. I got pictures of them, so I guess that's okay. Villain, they're kind of like the bad guy. You just, ooh, man, they just keep throwing bad stuff at me. And the helpless is, oh, I just can't, I don't know. I just can't do anything right. I don't know how to do that. Geez, those are the mamby-pambies. You ever work with the mamby-pambies? Ugh, ugh, ugh. would put this one in because I think it's humorous.
You're welcome. Hey, boss. Hey, what's going on? You guys catch the game last night? Nope.
Me either.
That's too bad. It was a good one.
No?
Take care. See you later.
Doesn't he work in IT?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
There it is.
Oh. Wow.
So, how are you going to tell the boss's son what we mean by Casual Friday?
I have no idea.
Facing it.
That happens a lot, doesn't it? Like I've got no clue how I'm going to discuss this. I just have no clue how I'm going to get through this. Tough, tough, tough. Stating my path. So, in a roundabout way, I want you to understand what got me here. I want to talk to you like a person, like the respect that I'm going to have for you, and I want to do it persuasively, not abrasively. I want to have dialogue. I don't want to debate. You know, honestly, debates, nobody usually wins. All we did is express a bunch of attitudes and beliefs, some feelings, in a really bad way. Didn't accomplish anything except maybe piss off each other. That's tough. Don't be abrasive. Be persuasive. State my path. The what skills. So, what are your facts? Share your facts. Tell your story. Ask for others' paths. What got you here? Why are we doing this? When you were involved in, listing that house last year, what was it that made you move toward, stuff that was at the $16 million level? You've only been working like $200,000 houses. Now I'm going to say you were listing a lot of $200,000 houses. You've never listed a $60 million house, so something might be not working so well. Tell me what got you to that point? What moved you that way? Who was it that had somebody moving to Austin? Somebody was, young lady. So somebody's moving to Austin. Well, what's got you moving to Austin? Tell me about that. That's part of your path. That's part of what we're going to need to have this conversation and make it work out. That's the what. The how is talk tentatively but not wimpy. So I don't want to go in like, really, let's have a discussion, but that's tough. All of a sudden I lower, this must not be that important because you don't look like you're addressing it because it's important. If it's important, be important and step up, but don't be a wimp about it. And encourage testing of the skills. That is, anybody ever practiced anything? Anybody ever play piano? What do you got to do every day after school? Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Well, we need to practice this. And you can practice this in really simple ways. I'm going to caution you, don't go practice having crucial conversations and think you're going to master it and walk in tomorrow and have a crucial conversation with a client and you're going to test this stuff out. I'm going to test this. What you might do, let's start with the little and work the big. But that might be across five appointments. Let's start little, we can work the big. Explore others' paths. How to listen when others blow up or clam up. Then that's tough because, now you're quiet. What am I supposed to do with that? You're not talking. How come we're not talking? Because you're silent and I'm violent. You don't feel safe. I'm scary.
We gotta take a break for a minute.
Let's step back. Let's step back. Let's step back. One of the greatest things I've ever seen an agent do, and I don't think it happens enough for whatever reason in Seattle. I know why it doesn't happen. Because of
We're
freaking
crazy.
traffic. He said, I've got a terrible problem with this co-op. The guy's a jerk and he's screwing everything up. And this is up, and our deal's not going to close in time. He hasn't handled the inspection, the reports, and blah, blah. And I said, you know what, have you talked to him? We got on the phone and that ain't going. I go, no, you just talked to him. You just talked with him. You talked with him. Well, yeah, we were on, and I can hear him talking to him, not with him. I said, I'll tell you what, you're only getting 5% of the conversation. Go see him. Get the car and drive over there. You got time. Man, I'm going to be in your area like in 15 minutes. Can I just stop by? Go over there. Because now I'm getting the whole thing. Now I'm getting the whole thing. I go in, he's in a full body cast. Yeah, I was in an accident last week, and I probably shouldn't be here. I'm supposed to be in the hospital, but I snuck out. I mean, you could all of a sudden, oh, wow, I had no idea. Or he starts getting flushed. Now you can see his reactions, physical reactions to our conversation. And you can start, ooh, I'm pressing too hard. I'm pressing too hard. Get that, if you can, face-to-face time. Get the face-to-face. Phone's fine, but you got to be really good on the phone to pull off a crucial conversation. I don't know how you do it without having a face-to-face. And if it was something really important, would you want to do it on the phone? No. If I have a price reduction, I have a sale fail, I got anything that's terrible repair, I'm in the car and I'm going to see them. Because as soon as they go, oh, I'm sorry. Like, what? Okay, instantly I know. One, this guy's going to get a little bite. Right? Or they go, he's going to get silent. Now my inclination, when things get tough, I get silent. Now we're both staring at each other like saying nothing. That happens. I mean, we don't, you're getting nowhere. But I wouldn't know that if I couldn't see him. I wouldn't know that. If she wasn't sitting there and saying, shaking her head like this, the phone saying, yeah, I agree with that. That's what happens. Or people are, they're argumentative. John, put that down. You can't play with fire around gasoline. Stop it. Yeah, I'm having a problem with my sellers. Look, we don't know what's going on the other end of the conversation. I mean, that kind of crap happens. I've had those conversations. Or, hey, I'm trying to eat really fast, and I'm talking and can't hear what I'm saying. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Cause problems. Start with heart. If you got somebody that's blown up, set a path for you that's not so good, start with heart. Heart sets up to be you're sincere. I want to really help us get through this. I really want to help us get through this. Now, I use the word us. Why did I say us and not you? It puts us on the same team. We begin to start having a common purpose. And remember empathy. Now, already, we've got a line tied between us because it's us. That now it's easier to sympathize or empathize than sympathy. It's all about you. The response is so big, you guys, I just can't tell you. Use the word us. I do this, and it's helped me a lot. You guys need to adjust your price. You guys need to drop that. You need. I started saying we. You know what? I think we need to adjust that price. I think we need to work through that repair. We need to get a contractor to take it. The we people, now what? They're involved in the process. They're part of the process. When I say me, or you, do we even have the same purpose now? Don't know. We is a huge word, guys. It really, us and we. Be curious. Curiosity killed the cat? No. Curiosity cured the cat. I love saying that. Curiosity cured the cat. Somebody went up and said, this is going to kill this cat. Let's get curious. Why? Let's figure out what's the cat. Where is the cat? How big is the cat? What color is the cat? We start asking questions. How do we figure stuff out if we don't ask questions? If we make just assumptions and never verify that what I'm assuming is correct by asking questions, anybody ever ended up like at the wrong end of the table? Oh man. And this, you know what this is the hard part. This happens with the people that are closest in our lives. The closest, the people we care about the most. It happens that way. because I assume some things that aren't correct. I'm just assuming you like my mac and cheese. Everybody else does. Well, you know what? I'm allergic to cheese. I didn't know that. Well, yeah, that's why I like hamburger helper, because it's macaroni and hamburger. I think it is. I don't know. I haven't had it. There's a whole, I made an assumption was completely, I had to ask questions. Why not macaroni and cheese? Remain curious. I mean, that's reinforcing. Ask questions. That's questions. You're starting to get stuck with it. Ask more questions. If you don't have the answers, you need to ask questions. And when you go, boy, this is going sideways, step out and think of the questions you need to ask. Because off the top of my head, I couldn't remember to ask, like, where do I fill up in my car? I've never put gas in my car. I come to Washington. Holy crap. How do you get the thing? I didn't know how to get the thing open. That's how embarrassed I was.
Because you live in Oregon.
Yeah, and I got a brand new car. And it was like, how come I'm
funny.
looking for the thing, you know, with the little gas. Doesn't have one. Doesn't have one. You stop the car, put it in park, turn the key off, hit the unlock button for all the doors. That thing unlocks.
And then
You
you have to
still got to
push
push it. Yeah, I kept thinking, well, that didn't work because it hasn't
That's
popped
so
out.
funny.
Yeah, holy smoke. Okay, so maybe this should say, be curious, ask questions, and remain curious and remain asking questions when you're an idiot. That's and be patient. Patience is a virtue. I think patience is a necessity in almost every conversation we have that's difficult. Patience, because if you get in a rush, what happens? They feel rushed. Did we get all the pool open? Did everybody get their stuff into the pool? No, I was rushed. Well, now, if I don't have all the stuff in the pool, what are we going to make a good decision? We could still make a decision, and maybe a good one, but we could have had a great one. Could have had a great one if we'd had all of that. So be patient, remain curious, ask questions. Encourage others to retrace their path. I told you about the... Did I tell you about the kid on the airplane with Dad? This is Carrie Patterson. Carrie wrote the book, Crucial Conversations. Carrie's been working on this for 20 years. Carrie is going to go on a golf junket to California. He's going to Pebble Beach. He's got a seminar. He's going to talk for 3 days. And then he's got a couple extra days in California. Hey, I'm going to golf public. Well, his 14-year-old son goes, oh, Dad, can I go? Can I go? And he said, well, geez, it's going to be a little more expensive because I didn't book the travel for him early. Airfare was going to be high. And, you know, one extra fee for the golf, that's not a big deal. But, yeah, this would be a great thing for father and son. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's have a good time. They get on the plane, they fly out, he does a seminar, they go golf, and they're walking through, have a great round, and they're walking through the clubhouse. And the kid looks up, oh, Dad. And here is this beautiful Pebble Beach windbreaker. And it's $120. And the dad, you know, he's thinking, now, God, that's a lot of money. But I've worked hard. I want nice stuff. I want to do something cool. This is going to be a memory. This is a memory builder. Sure, son. Let's get the coat. So the kid puts it on. He's not taking it off. I mean, he wears it to bed. He gets on the plane. They're coming home. It's a breakfast flight. And you ever had the little French toast sticks? Put in syrup? So kid, he starts eating. And he's dipping in the syrup. And he, you know, man, this is good. And he's getting it down the front on his windbreaker. Well, the dad looks over and goes, son of a bitch. I worked my ass off to provide for him, and I do this whole trip just for him, and here he doesn't respect me. He took a gift I gave him, which is an expensive one, and he's abusing it. He doesn't respect me. He doesn't respect me. Now, what he's not telling his son is, he's had respect issues since he was 6 years old, when it was said to him, we don't care about your opinions. You don't count. He's carried that with him his entire life. And up poked its ugly head. And he goes, son, trying to be patient, trying to be calm. Did you notice that you were, getting this syrup like all over the front of you? Dad! Oh my gosh, Dad! Oh, I hope I did I ruin it? Dad, will it wash out? What, Dad? Oh. Instantly oh my God. It wasn't because he didn't respect me. It wasn't because he didn't appreciate all the things I did. Why did he do it? Why? He's 14 years old. That's what happened. That's what 14-year-olds do. They're not aware of their surroundings. They do stupid stuff. He's 14. Dad instantly jumps up and goes, he doesn't respect me. That wasn't the issue at all. At all. So you have to actually think about them and why they're acting the way that they do and how I'm acting. Every sentence has a history. That's true. You can't say anything that you probably haven't said before for a reason. And then break the cycle. So you're a silent. How could I help you not be that way? Let's break the cycle. I'm going to give you permission to yell. And I want you to be able to do that. I want you to feel totally free to be pissed off right now. Because you have rights to do that. Do you think she's more prone to be able to express her feelings now than her natural system says, I'm going to get silent here? This is threatening. I'm going to get silent. I'm going to back up on this thing. I'm not going to get involved.
I think it would depend on your delivery of saying that statement to them.
Sure.
At least that's how I feel.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Go ahead and yell at me if you want. That's, I'm just speaking.
It's all good.
And power up means this. Recommit to the process. Remember, it's the process. It's just like referrals. I got to reinforce the behavior, not the results. I've got to commit to the process, not the results. If I commit to getting a certain result, how often does that happen? And results can, what we could have had as a result is going to change because of circumstance. Power listening skills. So this is AMP. This is what AMP sets up for. Ask to get things rolling. Could we have a talk? And I don't want to make this a giant thing, but it's important. And I think I started to talk. Oh, I did say the accent. This is going to be a difficult conversation. I know it's not going to go the way you want, but we need that. And I prefaced, I kind of taken through this safe harbor, just kind of get an idea. Okay, what's coming on? Oops. But I didn't go. I'm really glad you come in today. You're fired. Now, I love saying that to clients sometimes when they're jerks. You know what? Through this, and I learn every day. Best communicators, by the way, continually work to better communicate. Guys that don't, unfortunately. I practice this. You know what? I think we should talk about it. I am going to fire your ass. But I want to be nice about it. I want you to understand the process and why we're doing it. Company's going down in flames. So you're going to ask to get things rolling. Mirror to confirm feelings. Tell me how you feel. Because I'm going to guess that you're not feeling very safe right now.
No, I'm not feeling loved and appreciated.
I can understand that. And not being loved and appreciated isn't that you would not feel that way is important to me because I want you.
Okay.
You see? All I'm going to do is mirror her feelings. Hey, she's thinking, now, I have made an assumption. If it hadn't been correct, she's totally pissed off about something else. She corrected me, right? If she wants to be right, and if I'm wrong, she's going to correct me. So if I make a mirror statement and it's not correct, I'm going to know about it right away. Because that's going to change my perception. If I know she's hurt, would that change the direction of some conversations? I wouldn't want to be hurtful anymore. Maybe I already did that. I want to preserve. All this, guys, all of this. Crucial conversations happen between people, high emotion, but in normal cases, in our lives, in our personal lives, it's with people we care about. So you know what? I got to stick to this process and make sure it's safe for both of us, because I'm more concerned about a relationship than I am about the situation. Does that make sense? You've got to be able to clarify those things, because now we kind of do have a mutual purpose. And she may say, you know what? I don't like you, but I respect the fact you're willing to do this, to have this tough conversation. Now we got some mutual respect. I respect the fact I'm going to fire your ass. Okay? Paraphrase to acknowledge their story. I understand how you got here. I understand, I guess, the situation and why this is important to you. And then, because here's what happens. A lot of crucial conversations we don't initiate. This doesn't say you have to initiate these crucial conversations. They happen to us, and they come with surprises. Hey, hello. Hey, it's Mom. It's Mom. I'm moving in. What? I think we need to talk about this, Mom. She's starting the conversation, not me. I got to have that. Anybody know what I got a crucial conversation. I got to talk to my mom about taking a car away. That is going to be a crucial conversation. But here's the thing. I do have a goal in mind. I'm hoping, my goal is not to take her car away. What's my goal? I want my mom safe. I want my mom safe. I got to take her keys away because I want my mom safe. Mom, do you want to be safe? Do you want those around you to be safe? Now there's our common purpose. And I respect you enough, Mom, to understand that's a difficult thing. That's part of who you are. You're a professional race car driver for many years. But you're still driving. I've got to give her that. I've got to give her that. That's going to help us both, because as we get into it, it's going to get more and more difficult. But with tools, we can get through it. Okay? Paraphrase, acknowledge their story. Prime when you're getting nowhere. Anybody know a pump? Priming a pump, you know what that is? Okay? Priming a pump. If I don't have anything to work out off of, in this instance, you're just not doing anything, not saying anything. Where am I going with this? Because we're not even discussing. You haven't even talked. I might have to prime the pump. I might have to prime the pump. But priming the pump with my mom might be this. Mom, I know you hear about everybody in this world. That's the type of person you are. Am I right? Yeah, I do. Well, you know what? All of the ones that are in the world that are driving are scared as hell that you're on them. No, I probably wouldn't say it that way. But I got to prime the pump. I got to get something to get going. Okay? Don't be afraid to prime the pump. If you make an assumption and it's wrong, what's going to happen? They're going to correct me. Okay? They're going to correct me. If they correct me, now here's what's really cool. If she corrected me, if she corrects me instantly, I know exactly what she's thinking. I know exactly what she's thinking. I don't have to guess anymore. I know exactly what she's, because I could have paraphrased and it wasn't quite right, but you didn't want to say anything because you love me and you don't want to hurt my feelings. I said, so, little tip. You're with the seller, with the buyer. I talk about sellers because I'm a listing guy. Okay? You're with the seller, and you're doing all the talking. Anybody ever been in that appointment? Okay? You're doing all the talking. Boom, boom, boom. I got to make some assumption here. I got to start this thing to get going. If I don't, we're not going to get anywhere. We are not going to go in. I'm not going to get the price adjustment. You're not going to get sold, and you're not going to get to Austin, Texas. So how are we going to do that? Priming the pump sets up. Let's go with an assumption. Let's just take and make an assumption. That assumption may have nothing to do with where you want to end up and where I want. But if we could both agree on an assumption, let's assume, maybe it's not the case, but Mom, let's assume that you're okay with giving up the car. let's assume that. I don't think that's the way, but let's assume you were okay with that. How would it feel?
She's gonna tell you.
Exactly. Boom. I primed the pump and here it comes. Man, she's going to give it to me like in gallons. Okay? You see how that works? You can have a seller, Mr. Seller. You know, I've been trying to explain to you why we probably need to adjust pricing this month, or that we do need to adjust pricing this month. I know you're not saying much. So I want to understand your question. Can we just assume one thing? Would that be okay? Let's make an assumption. Let's make the assumption that your home will sell. Let's make the assumption your home will sell.
At the price I want.
Then say that. Let's first go with an assumption that it's going to sell. Now all we got to do is figure out how. But the assumption was our comment. All of a sudden I've got something in common. Now we start to build toward. Now the assumption can be, you know, let's both agree on one thing. I can't see Seattle from here because of all the smoke. You agree? Okay. Now we've agreed on something. Holy smokes, Mom, this is great. This lady, she handles this so well. Watch her. She's going to do the AMP. Okay? Ask, mirror, paraphrase, prime. In a minute.
At today's meeting, you didn't say much. Is something wrong? No. Well, you're usually much more engaged and voice your ideas, and today you were withdrawn. There's really no point. I just didn't feel like talking. I understand you didn't feel like participating. Can we talk about that? There's really no point. Well, I remember last meeting you suggested a coaching service that got shut down pretty quickly. Is that the reason? You know it is. That was such a good, inexpensive idea that would have helped our districts. No one even listened. There's just no point. If it's that good of an idea, let's revisit it. Tell me more about it. Yeah, okay.
Tell me more. I love that. I love that. Here's a couple of statements you can use. Would you share with me what got you here today? Can you tell me about, or can you tell me more about, or can I ask you a question? Asking permission in these conversations is really a very respectful thing. Really respectful. And your tone, your attitude. So remember, you've got a face. You've got a look. You've got a posture. What am I all looking at? What am I standing here for? You know, where am I at in this whole process? Would it be okay if I asked you a question about that, whatever? Because here, if I've done that, that's respectful. Because you know what? She might go, I'm not in a place right now. I couldn't talk about that. I couldn't talk about that. Well, Mommy just had another accident. There were 6 this week. So somewhere we're going to have to talk about this. But I understand this is not a good time for you, and that's okay. When it gets to be a good time for you, will you let me know? Will you let me know so we can do this? Because we're going to have to resolve it one way or the other. Someday you're going to stop driving. I hope it's not because you died behind the wheel.
I think you accidentally scooted way back.
Oh.
Your button got pushed.
Oh. There we go. Thank you. So, what if you don't agree? I still am at odds with what you're saying. I just don't agree. I just don't agree. Agree with what you can agree on. Agree with what you can agree on. Could you both agree that I'm wearing blue slacks? Could you both agree that there's pop in that bottle? I mean, start looking for stupid stuff, you'll find it. But you know what? You start with something and build. You work on something and you build. You may not have anything in common with this person. The co-op that's being a jerk and not getting their job done and hasn't returned my phone call with the offer that I sent him 8 weeks ago. What's all that about? Common is You've got a client that wants that house sold, and I got a client that wants to buy it. We've got some common purpose. Let's just back up to that. Let's just back up to that. Let's figure out, there's got to be a strategy to get through this. Because this has happened before, and somebody else handled it and got through it. We can't. We can't. Kind of straightforward. We can agree. Build on that agreement. Build on that agreement. As it is, don't assume or suggest others are wrong. Don't assume that. Okay? Just because of your position, I'm assuming you're wrong. Guess what? A lot of times, they're not. I am. That's that. Oh, but evolution. I could be wrong. Now we all go like, well, no, I'm never wrong. that would never happen. And then compare. Are you seeing it the way I'm seeing it? Am I seeing it the way you're seeing it? Let's compare notes. Where are you with this? Let's compare notes. Move to action. This is where you want to get something accomplished, right? This is why we're having the conversation. There's an action part we want to be able to do. Two things. We want to make an action and we want to monitor results. We want to monitor the results. How did we do? How did we do? When you're involved with someone personally and you're working through difficult times, conversations, whatever it might be, hey, we're in a tough spot right here. We're in a struggle. Some things work out, some things don't. But we're in a struggle. How are we going to get through this? Well, you work through it, and you better look at the results. Is this what we want? Well, guess what? My wife 6 years ago leaves. We get divorced. Well, that wasn't quite what I wanted. But it was a result, wasn't it? And anybody know for sure that I had a bunch of conversations? Oh, yeah. We had conversations coming out over years. And we did it with counselors. We did it with I mean, some things just don't work out. But if you don't monitor the results, you won't know how to handle that the next time. And in real estate, there's always a next time. There is nothing new under the sun in real estate. I swear. Happens the same thing every time. And I'm going to tell you this. Write this down. Own the outcome. If you're part of the decision process, you're part of that decision making. Own the outcome. This is what happens a lot. Well, we came to that and your decision was wrong. It was wrong. It was your fault. Hey, who was the other half of the decision making? I was. Own it. Be willing to say, I made a mistake. Methods of decision makers. Here's how there's decision makers, and you sometimes need to figure out who's going to make the decision in this conversation, who's not going to make a decision, and how is the decision going to get made. So, Mom and I, who's making the decision? You're not.
She is.
She's making the decision? Or I'm making the decision? For her not to drive.
Well, you're ultimately going to make the decision.
Ultimately, I'm going to make the decision. As bad as rough as it may be, as damaging as it could be, now if I handled it correctly, actually, this isn't manipulation, but this is being persuasive, okay? She could see the elements that are necessary to make her safe, which is one, giving the keys to your car. So she could make the decision, I made it and I let her share it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I let her share it. Now the outcome is going to be great. We have to monitor that. How is that working? Well, Mom, I know you missed your last 6 doctor appointments and you haven't eaten for 4 weeks because you can't get a store. Okay, so maybe we need to work on the results. Command, I work for a guy that makes the command decisions. Let's relate it to football. Who makes the command decision? The head coach. The head coach. Actually, not anymore the quarterback.
Oh, there you go.
But the coach does. He calls the play. But let's just say the quarterback. He's out on the field. He's got, no, that's right. There's only 11. He's got 10 other guys there. Can he take a vote? Guys, I mean, I think it would be funny. National television. Here's Russell Wilson, and and you see all these guys around him go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got 6 to 5. Okay, so let's go for it. We're running the ball right. I'll tell you this, votes don't work very well because you're going to alienate somebody if there was a dissenting vote. Now, if I didn't have a dissenting vote, what have I got? It's bottom word. Consensus. This is good. This is great. We're going to run the ball to the left. That's great. But the center goes, I don't think it should go to the left. I think it should go to the right. And so if you don't change your mind, I'm not going to hike the ball. No. You didn't involve everybody in the decision process. Here's what happens. What was the common purpose when they came out of the locker room?
Win the game.
Win the game. That was, now, did they win the game? Not all the time, do they? They were concerned about the process. You've got to block that guy. You've got to catch the ball. You've got to run the ball. You've got to pass the ball. Okay? We're in the process, but I can't guarantee results. Okay? The outcome is the outcome. The outcome is the outcome. But the process is what I'm interested in. And in making a decision, if I want to get this process to complete out, I could consult. I'm going to take my top 3 guys. Guys, let's forget about the other 8 guys. Let's consult. Tell me, what are you thinking? What do you think? What did you see on the field? Now that's what head coaches do. They consult, don't they? Guys, what did you see on that offensive play? He's talking to the guys up in the booth. He's talking to the guys on the field. He is getting consultation. It's great making decisions. Consensus is the way to go. Voting, you're going to alienate somebody. Just be aware of that. What happens in a crucial conversation, can you have it with more than one person? Yeah. Happens in groups all the time. That's messy. Because now you got a whole bunch of conflicts. But in a vote, I'm going to upset somebody. That guy isn't maybe necessarily married to the process. Now I've just alienated. And this is, how would I know that? What did they start doing? There's one of 2 things. Silence or violence? Silence or violence? And instantly I see him starting to get silent. Oh, you were kind of vocal on that. Now you're being quiet. I understand, this is what I'm assuming. I'm thinking that you don't like that decision. Let's talk about it. Okay, where did I go wrong? Point it out. Tell me, because I don't think I was. Okay? Decision maker. Command, I'm just going to make the decision. We're going to do it. This is the way we're going to do it. Well, here's what. We put people in places to be able to do that for us, don't we? I mean, we got a president right now that's making command decisions. Okay? Nobody agrees with that guy. Nobody does. Does he care? Because why? He's a commander. I don't really give. I'm the commander. I'm going to make the decision. Dangerous area. Okay? Don't be a commander. In crucial conversations, you can consult, but who are you going to consult? The person you're having a conversation with. Could you vote? If she's got a dissenting vote, and I'm pro, now where are we going? And we're not going to build consensus in a lot of cases. That's very difficult. That's very difficult. Choose how to choose a method. Do I want to command? Do I want to consult? Do I want to vote? Do I want to try to get consensus? Who cares about the decision? Who's involved? Who are the stakeholders? Who knows? If I'm going to consult, somebody's got to have some information. If I go consult my dog, that's not going to help me. And who must agree? Well, here's what. The coach, he doesn't care. Anybody agrees with him. This is the play, and that's where we're going to go. Now, I don't like the play, but I'm committed to the process. I'm committed. So if you commit to the process, it really, at a point, won't matter so much. You won't. Yeah, we all have an outcome in front, but the outcome's the outcome. The outcome is its own responsibility. The process is my responsibility. And if you come at me to start a crucial conversation and you're not adept at it, I need to back up a little bit. If you want to have a great conversation right now, let's say during the rest of the week, go find somebody that was in the class, have a great, No, I know. It's your breath. Okay, I'm really, I mean, nobody likes you as well. Who knows? Who must agree? And how many people is it worth involving? Do all 11 guys need to vote to say we're going to go right? No. How many people? Now, how about, guys, we're going to quit. We're going to give up. We're going to roll over and play dead. For that to pull off, how many people would I have to have? Everybody. To pull that off, I'd have to have everybody. Here, and conversely, everybody has to buy in to say, we're going to win. Everybody has to buy in. Because what happens if the one guy says, you know what, on the left end, I don't really care that we win or not. And people are getting tackled all over the place because this guy's not doing his job. That's tough. That's tough. How many people is it worth involving? In football, everybody. Sometimes nobody. Maybe it's just yours alone. Assignment to put decisions into action. So if you do, here's our course. This is what we're going to do. And we are making a decision based on consensus. Let's just say that. We all agree this is the way this needs to go. Who's going to do the work now? You need to start assigning some tasks. Now maybe the task might be, this is my feelings, I feel hurt. You feel hurt. We're both angry. We're both upset. How are we going to work through that? We could use this to do that. But probably not who, what, who's going to do this, how are we going to do that. But in other decisions, especially as groups, how are we going to make that decision? Okay, so let's go back. Who's going to be responsible to enact it? What's it going to do? When do we need to do it? And who's going to follow up? So a little bit, I told you who, in this case, who is going to write out each other's, I'm going to have a crucial conversation with Mom, in fact, I'll call you guys before Wednesday next week. I'm going to do this, going to be this weekend. But do what, do when, and how you're going to follow up. Phone call, email, doesn't matter. Set those standards for yourself. Because if you drop the ball and say, well, great, here's where we're moving to. I think out of this whole discussion, this is what we need to do. Maybe that's counseling. Let's go see a counselor. Who needs to be involved in the decision? And then, who's going to find the counselor? When are we going to go to the counselor? What do we want the counselor to do for us? And then, once we go to the counselor, was that any good? Because guys, that's what we say. Was that any good? I dropped $250 in that guy's pocket and I didn't get anything out of it. Crucial conversations review. In your deal, again, there's silence, that's withdrawing, avoiding, masking, sarcasm, sugarcoating. You know, one of the senses of masking is sugarcoating. In crucial conversations, we tend to try not, I want to sugarcoat it because I don't want you. Here's what we do. This goes to this, but this is part of my story. The reason I don't want to give you bad news, really, and I'm being totally serious here, I don't want to give you bad news because you're not going to like me. And if you don't like me, that probably means I'm a bad person. That's scary. You know how many people think that way? I have a self-esteem that's probably about as high as that fall. And that's hard, because that's the way I think. So I try to sugarcoat it. You know what? That's just a sense of being silent. I really need to say, in fact, it's easier this way, and we've all done it. Would you like me to sugarcoat it, or do you want it straight? What do people say?
Straight.
And my mom's going to say sugarcoat it. But in this case, that's right. I have to get past my own barriers of thinking, well, you know what? You might not like what I say, but you probably still like me. You probably still like me, even though you don't like what I said. And in that respect, I can get past me, and now we can work together on some mutual growth. And then, again, violence, controlling, labeling, attacking. I'm trying to pull stuff out of the pool, and this is funny. In my own mind, I have this concrete pool. It was a doughboy for a while, and then they got big. I have this big concrete pool, and I picture the more questions I ask, the more the pool gets filled in. But I don't want just 3 feet in the deep end, because I'm going to dive back in this thing. I need everybody's. I need it to be 6 feet deep. Final thoughts. Turning these things into habits, okay? Habits. That is, what do you have to do to make it? Actually, it was the Doobie, anybody, you guys know, there's a couple of them. Doobie Brothers. Okay? They have an album called What Were Once Vices Are Now Habits. What were once vices are now habits. You know what you got to do to make a habit? You got to do it over and over and over and over. Okay? Habit, I smoked in the Air Force a long time. But long time for me, 6 months. But as it was a habit. But here's the deal, it didn't start with my first cigarette. It started with my 10th week at the 2nd pack a day. That became a habit. That became a habit. I had to do it over and over and over again. If you forget about these things, go back and review and say, God, I could have handled that better. And try it again. Make it a habit. Asking questions is a very big one. If you've ever gone into an appointment and you're the only one doing the talking, start asking questions. Do people answer questions?
Yes.
Remember we've talked about a proactive and a passive activity? Passive activity. There's only one proactive activity. That's this. Because it demands a response. It demands a response. Now, you haven't said anything in this appointment. I'm scared to tell you really what you need to hear. So I'm talking about comps, the marketplace, blah, 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 all these things. And I can blah, 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 I'm dumping them. I'm regurgitating everything I know in real estate. You're going to know in 5 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. They're not getting involved. Of course they're not. I'm doing all the talking. How am I going to get them involved? Proactive activity. So what do you think? Now she could, right here, she's not saying anything. That's uncomfortable. That's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Would it happen?
Absolutely. Yes.
Would it happen? They're like, here's, so what might I have to do? Prime them up. I think I've worked with many people in your guys' situation. I know the money's important. Is it the money or is it what you want to do?
It's what I want to do.
Let's talk about that real quick. Because what is it? I've never asked, and I'm sorry because I've never asked what do you want to do? I mean, I know we're buying this other house. It's $250,000, but you got an $800,000 check over. What are you doing?
There you go.
Okay.
Let's go boat shopping.
I spent the money already. And always remember, practice doesn't make you perfect. Perfect practice makes you perfect. But here's the deal. My grandfather, who raised me, used to say, and I think I called it, a smart man will learn from his mistakes. A genius will learn from somebody else's. In the course of practice, he used to say, anything worth doing is worth doing well, right? That's what everybody says. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Here's what I'm going to say. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing badly. Because are you going to be good, really good at something if you don't practice it? And what happens if I do practice it? The first time, you know what? First cigarette I ever had, and this is when it happened. We were in basic training. There's an 8-foot square, painted in yellow paint, over there. It's been the 2nd week. These guys that smoke all the time, and I hadn't smoked it, smoke all the time, they're going crazy. At the 2nd week, you've heard of smoke break. If you smoke, you can break out of formation, everybody else is at ease, and you go over in the 8-foot square, and you can smoke. And 20 guys, and I mean they were on the line, like trying to smoke. And I thought, well, I'm going to smoke. I want to get out of formation. I get over there. First cigarette, what happened? Boom! We were in San Antonio. It was 102 degrees, and I passed out right on the concrete. It was the funniest thing. Everybody was laughing so hard. Oh my God! Well, you know what? I wasn't the only one. There were 2 other guys. It was because nobody had the nicotine, and I never had it. So I was like, huh, it's crazy. That was practice. That was practice. What happened on my 200 cigarette? Did I pass out? No. No, well, yes, I did. No. Perfect practice. Make sure you're practicing and keeping these things in tune, okay? So, got a course evaluation. I think I've told you this before, but if you guys don't tell me how I'm doing, I won't get better. And yeah, you're going to offend me. I won't have any respect or like you. I want to say thank you. You guys put up with a lot today.
Thank you.
Bad sound, hot, heat, nasty, sure. But you were great, and I do appreciate it. What's funny? So I've had classes now this week with larger groups, but I haven't had one that I enjoyed. You guys are very interactive with me, and I appreciate that a great deal. That helps do